Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
We've reached our destination.
I think Hoodle senses something.
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
Ow! Take this!
Let's go! Listen! In the wind!
It's turning tasty! One's all mine!
Photon
Take it!
annihilation!
Rising Falcon!
If they rush you,
Here I
you gotta
go.
jump for cover, okay?
Take this!
What's this thing?
No backing down! It's over!
Eat this!
Eat dirt! I can carve through armor! Here I come! You're finished! Come and face me!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Take this!
Flame of fury!
It's over!
Burning thrust! Do it!
Crush! My turn! I'm not done!
Freeze Lancer!
Eat this!
Raging Storm!
Hurricane! You're finished, Ysara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! This is barely target practice. Then why bother fighting them?
Because I certainly won't run away from a battle.
Look, Hoodle! One of your buddies!
No choice! You're finished!
Don't mind if I do!
Here I come!
Assault!
You picked the wrong fight!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Escape!
All
you
Here
I come!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Freeze!
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah. I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond, and it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts... can do.
Just doing my...
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought, after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
I'll see you again tomorrow. Well, off we go.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
I've got a really bad feeling about this. I never miss.
It's over!
Now you see what I can do!
You're mine! Dragon Form!
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Do it! Kisara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! Line free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Eternal devastation! Here I come!
Now!
All three left! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Easy! Way to go!
Lightning broken!
Do it!
Kisara, frozen.
Hammer! Check out these biceps. Pretty glorious, right?
Why are guys so obsessed with their muscles?
Because these puppies have yet to...
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my art. When he slows down, that's our chance. You're mine!
Trying to keep up with the wolf.
Glacial spear.
Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah! And others to me!
Eternal devastation!
Take this! In a vine?
Here I come! Eternal devastation!
Take this! Whirlwind snap!
Take this! It's over! Now or never! Take this!
Eagle
Eternal
dive!
devastation!
Now I'm in the groove! Take this! You see what happened there as you crossed me. You should have done that.
Lunar Rondo!
Now! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off! Lunar Rondo!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Do it! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. There's
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad...
I've got a really bad feeling about this. Here!
Raining slash!
This
Blow
is
away!
easy.
Double demon fang! I'll finish you here and now! It's up!
My step.
Severing wind!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for you truly.
Double demon fang!
Dance in the wind!
Nothing gets by me!
You're mine!
Here's evil.
Demons descend!
Flashing fang!
Easy! Way to go!
I'm not done! Soaring light sphere!
Now in the groove!
Rising falcon!
Go
It's over!
This one's mine!
Here I come!
Here!
This one's all mine!
Let's tear him up!
Who wants to die next?
Blow away! Double demon fang! I'll take you all off! Severing wind!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! I've still got a ways to go!
Let's dispose of the trash.
Not today! No further!
It's a safety! This one's mine!
I'll tear you apart! Got fired!
I've got this! Let him march to handle it!
Prepare to be sealed.
All yours! Severing wind!
We're in the home stretch, guys! You'll soon see about
Eyes on the
that!
prize!
That focus goes double for you,
Me? How come I get singled
You're
out?
mine! Dragon swarm!
Here's a healing arm!
Hit time!
Raging storm!
You picked the wrong fight!
Art expert, coming
Severing
through!
wind!
Not on my watch!
Here
Now!
I come! More!
Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade! See that? That training's paying off! It's time!
Glimmer dragon!
Dragon swarm!
Here's lunar corruption! You're surrounding power of water!
Eternal domination! Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet and...
I think I'm getting stronger. It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're
It's on!
Take this!
Hey, when did I get so popular? Armor won't save you!
Stardust!
Annihilation!
Talon hurricane! Rising falcon!
Glimmer dragon! Raging storm!
Eagle finish! Crush!
I'm just getting started!
That's my cue!
Earthquake and Howl! Shut him down!
Dance in the wind! I never miss!
You picked the wrong fight!
I'm on
Dragon Claw! Wind! Lunar Hurricane!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got
Well done! Now!
Wind! Doubly! In an instant! Impact Claw!
My fists are crushing it out there! man. I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Megasonic thrust! Blow away! Raining blast! You're mine! I'll smash you! It's on! Everyone win!
Milky Blade's here!
Remember this! Take this! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Well, looky here. Hi, Hoodle.
Can't get out of this!
Burn!
Rip and tear!
Can't be stopped. This one's mine.
Eternal damage! Take this! It's over!
Here's a healer.
Severing one!
Did you just hear me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
Right.
The tide of battle has turned! That's the power of comrades in arms!
Right. Comrades in arms.
What? Sentimental?
Not today! I owe you one!
Do it! Don't leave! Hey!
Blow them away!
Will this help?
My turn! Strike!
Raging
Dragon
healer.
Swarm! Thanks! Blow away!
Lunar corruption.
Eat this!
This world.
Do it! Little Demons descend! Flashing bang! Easy!
Way to go.
I'm not done!
Raging storm.
Eternal devastation!
Eat this!
It's over!
Lunar corruption.
All Phoenix is here and now!
Dragon Swarm!
Now.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again!
That equipment should come in handy.
More Den and ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Little help.
They got me flanked!
Not on my watch. Mega Ray. Raging storm. It's a duel of the arts.
Take this! Severing wind! You got flyers!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours!
Mega Ray. Steel Force.
Lunar Rondo!
Thunder
Rising Falcon!
Now, will someone
Guard!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
Not a chance! Thrust! Lunar Rondo!
Thunder
Rising Falcon!
Now you see what I can do!
You're mine!
Do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
What's this thing?
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
Where are you going? Radiant here!
Rising Eagle Assault! Wind!
Here! I'm exclusive with airborne corruption! Lightning condemn! Annihilation!
FG airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Megasonic Thrust!
We're in the home stretch, guys.
What she said? Eyes on the prize.
Ignite!
That focus goes double for you,
Me? How come I get singled out?
Dragon Swarm!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Check out these biceps. Pretty glorious, right?
Why are guys so obsessed with their muscles?
Because these puppies have yet to let me down.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahawk Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed.
It's on! Here I come! It's over!
Take
Annihilation here! I'll be saving this!
Here I come!
Confiscate! Airborne beast! My
so much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint.
Fine, no
Lightning condemned! Lunar corruption now! That's my... This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
It's over!
Right here!
Hurricane Storm! Here! First strike! Megasonic Thrust! Here I come!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Ah, right.
Sweet dreams! I'm out of ammo! I'm all sleep now!
You're mine! First strike! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet and...
I need to be stronger.
What's that big tower over there?
You guys want to rest here?
I think I'll read my book a little more.
Isara, let's talk for a bit.
Sorry for rambling on so much about my past earlier.
Don't sweat it. It was fun hearing you reminisce about the good old days.
Come on, you don't have to pretend with me. I know I can tend to go on sometimes, when it comes to my brother.
You said it, not me. Anyway, I don't think it's something for you to be embarrassed about.
Hey, Alphen. When you were a kid, was there ever a time when you had to bury someone younger than you?
Well, it's hard to say. I'm guessing that you have, though.
Yeah. During the previous crown contest, with the Lord before Dohalim. Life back then was truly hell. I think that's why I tried to ignore what Miguel was telling me for so long. Because I was afraid of going back to such a dark time. Of losing hope. I wanted to believe in our paradise so much that I doubted the one person I should have trusted most. I don't blame blame Dohalim for that. I simply didn't want to face facts. And I ended up trying to project my ideals onto everyone else.
It's strange. Whenever you and Dohalim talk about Menancia, it's always like it's some big failure. We're talking about fixing 300 years worth of damage here. Isn't it a bit optimistic to think it was all going to be resolved after only 5?
You might be right. Maybe it was a mistake when Menancia... No. When I decided to stop seeing the darkness in our society. I have to admit the truth. To myself, first of all. I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Rise and shine. We're almost ready to leave.
I'm impressed how well balanced. This thing is.
in trouble again. Healing circle!
Thanks.
Eat this! Lightning raging!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on a roll now!
Here I come!
Here, let me help.
Eagle assault!
Raining slash!
There you go! I feel...
I can feel my power growing!
I won't forgive you!
You're mine!
Radiant here!
Double demon fang!
There with the others! Light
Throw
astral
away!
energy! Radiant here!
Mega Sonic
Raging
Thrust!
cascade! I'm out of ammo! I'm all stuck up!
Covering wing!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly! Art expert coming through!
Burn!
I'll heal you all!
I'm on! Take this! Wing!
Now!
Light burst forth!
Radiant genesis! Will this
Not
work?
here! I'm not down!
Ha! Healing
Turtle
circle! Now!
devastation! I'm knocked up!
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best.
Phew. What a rush.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house? It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Not on my watch!
Rip and tear! Severing wing!
Lightning
Take
orb!
this! It's over!
Whoa! Hey! One at a time!
Rising falcon!
The enemy wheels off.
Dude, see ya. Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! Magic is hand!
Here I come!
Get on in there with the others!
I can carve through
We
armor!
did it! Not a chance! Not today!
The waters have
Rising falcon!
Magic is hand! In here!
Severing wing!
Dopaline!
Light burst forth!
Radiant citizen!
Did you see?
Sure did. The part where you swung and missed, right?
Not that part!
No choice! I'm not done!
Take up the blade!
I'm on!
Glacial
The
spear!
turtle devastation!
More with that!
Searing gale!
Terminal! Photon blast!
Right! You're finished!
I'll heal you all!
Far enough!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Raging
I'm on a roll now!
Win!
Did you just hear me?
Yes, I need you.
We are freaking invincible!
Thompson and the others truly are strong.
What about me?
It's over!
Four!
No escape!
Now! Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! See that?
That training's paying off! No escape! Burn!
Ready and ready!
Take this!
Do it!
Right through!
Astral energy!
Say no more! This could be useful. An opponent like this should be easy.
Now you see what I can
I
do!
owe you one.
There! Got
Take this!
Away!
Here I come!
It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
It's over! Stardust! You're finished! Rising Falcon!
Prepare to be sealed, O fleet of foot. Actually, that sound is more appropriate.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Light and lightning! Thunder blade!
That was a nice move there.
I know, right? Bet you couldn't do it.
So it's a grab here, thrust the left leg, then use the right arm to leverage over.
Stop memorizing my move!
Get lost!
Here I come! You're finished! No further!
Here goes free flow! Mind if I do?
Dragon Shout!
Photon blast!
It's over!
It's
Eternal
time!
devastation!
Air thrust! Lunar blast!
Reverse!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Well done!
Here I come! Dragon Swarm! Not today!
Watch this! We got the advantage!
Good. Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, cause Law's on it!
Take this!
Do they not teach you to say thank you, Indiana? Not get toasty!
Burn strike!
Healing wind! Now! First aid! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Little help!
You're mine! I'll smash you! I'm surrounded! Dragon Gale! Start up! Swallow dance! Eternal devastation! Crush! Eternal devastation! It's on! Severing wind! Searing gale! You're finished! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again!
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Little help!
Blow away! Lunar Rondo!
I'm not so good with airborne targets. Where are you going?
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that? That training's paying off! Lunar Rondo!
Do it!
Rising Storm! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Wow, look what I just found.
sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
They got me flanking!
I'm not done!
Lunar corruption!
I'm just getting
Leave the
started.
enemy's arms to me!
No complaints here!
Take this! Eternal devastation!
Eat this!
It's over!
I'll tear you apart!
Gale Force!
Here I come!
Whoa! Hey! One at a time!
Next!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more
Do it!
pummeling.
Cut them apart!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Check out these biceps. Pretty glorious, right?
Why are guys so obsessed with their muscles?
Because these puppies have yet to let me down.
Guess I misread the landing. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being an... Forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag-Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you? Here I come! Ignite! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down.
In a bind?
You're finished! Shivering wind!
Howling hurricane!
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
The armor won't save you!
How's this?
You're mine!
Wind!
Wind!
Dance in the wind! What air?
Cover!
Cover!
Dragon Form! Eat this!
I'll bring you back from death. I'll bring you back from death to
You're mine!
I'll bring you back from death to
Rip and
this.
tear!
Take this.
Shattering of pieces! Attack time!
Lunar corruption! Smart. By the power of
Wall
water.
dance! Eat this!
More for the stockpile.
Take this.
Here, let me help.
First strike!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
a light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danons, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danon legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renins have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danons rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe. but not entirely unthinkable given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris. Do you think it could be the work of Renan astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shion has got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
What are those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
Stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Beifong, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadeye's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadeye. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix.
So you're Elfin, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
Why, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere. But not for long. We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quiet.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danons in this realm, is it not? If so,
Shut your
then...
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danons, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Oh. Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of this show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. The scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you know that. Maybe it's 'cause you and that little lady are friends and more.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danon's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Way!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator Deadeye! You are the true leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up! Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renin pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renins.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Bayfon? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadeye.
This isn't Deadeye's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renins as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renins. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
I get the feeling Deadeye signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niaz, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is... When you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan Lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him, too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niaz is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with a... Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy? Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
All right.
It could mean anything. Can't we just look around the area for clues or something?
Hey! Maybe these are supposed to be different locations?
Oh, now you're into this too, huh?
Not this way, I guess.
I hear a voice. Somebody's asking.
Right.
Hey!
We've got all the ingredients for that recipe now.
Great. I'll let you cook then.
Wait, what?
Yeah!
That Deadime creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadime and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadime just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention.
sand in my eyes!
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed, Mahag Sar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And if so, what in the world were they even used for?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
Alphen, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but... frankly, they're starting to stink.
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I did any laundry.
I'll wash them for you if you want. Just remember to give them to me the next time you get changed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks, Kisara.
And, Law, Rinwell, yours are starting to look a bit ragged.
What do you expect? Of course they're going to tear up when we're out there fighting so much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of embarrassing, having it pointed out like this.
And Shion?
I wouldn't touch me if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I wanted to say was that your sleeves are getting a little bit dirty.
You don't need to worry so much, Kisara. It's only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the Guard are still alive and well within her.
What do you mean? What do the guardsmen do that's so special?
Mostly, I'm simply referring to the fact that they're a very regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate the thought, Kisara. But we've got a long journey ahead. It wouldn't hurt to relax your standards. Just a little.
If you're sure. I wasn't trying to overdo it, I promise. However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?
No choice. I'm on it. Severing wind. Armor won't save
You're
you.
finished. These ones can run rings around us. Dance in the wind.
Watch it.
Air thrust.
Eternal devastation. I'm not done. I'll take you all on.
Air strike. Dance in the wind.
Huh?
Interruption. More
Right
of the
ahead.
pile.
Wind. Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno.
I'll heal
Not
you
a
all.
chance. Too fast.
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Did you just hear me?
I need you, remember?
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Do it! In an instant. Impact rock.
My fists are crushing it out there.
This will be a delicious piece of Where are you going?
Wind. It's on. Lightning Falcon. Not today.
Eagle assault. My saving this way.
Severing wind.
Magic.
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly. Annihilation.
You're finished.
Anything in armor
You're mine. You're finished. Eternal devastation. Damn it. Take this. Huh?
Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
You're finished.
Armor won't save you.
Severing wind.
Searing
Bruno.
and next
Lightning
will.
Falcon. This one's all lit up.
Astral energy.
Say no more. I can feel my power growing.
Hey, look at that enemy. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Fang blast.
Sleep now.
Burn.
This is
Here I come. Whirlwind snap. It's over.
Fallen storm. I'm all stopped. Lightning condemned.
Severing coming. Face
Mind freeze. Why can't they just sit still?
Shion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. I never miss.
Here I come. I'm on it. Eternal devastation.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and pummeling to me.
It's over.
Sleep now.
Moving gate. It's on.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Ah, right.
We did it. Rima.
Astral energy.
Say no more. Got it.
Well done.
You're finished. Now I'm devastation. Here I come. I'm on it. It's over.
Can't get out of bed.
We're cleaning house.
Let me take the rest of them.
Well, someone's feeling lively. Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
Somehow, things are even worse outside the city than they are inside.
Yeah.
Go no further! Primed and ready!
You're finished! Ignite!
Light astral energy!
Severing wind!
Here's the
Searing
healer!
gas!
First aid!
Coyote one!
Wizard of astral energy!
Say no more! Shot!
Well done!
My turn!
Mega Ray Company!
Eternal devastation!
Radiant Storm!
Take this! It's over!
Now!
Kill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
All aboard the victory train!
Overconfidence can bite you in the butt. This will be a delicious
Here I
piece of
come.
cake!
I'll smash you! I'm on it!
Radiant, here! One more!
You're finished! Eternal devastation!
Waterfall! Lunar
I'm
flow
on it.
here!
I'll
Take
end
this.
you!
Get annihilation!
We got flyers!
I've got this! Let 'em
Take
mark
this.
me! Don't mind if I do!
All yours!
Eagle assault! I'm on a roll now!
Light
Take
astral
this.
energy!
Stardust!
Healing circle!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
I'm on it! Talon
Eternal
Hurricane!
devastation!
Astral energy!
Eternal devastation!
Lightning!
Swallow dance!
You're mine!
Radiant!
No escape! Ignite!
Spin well! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang! Yeah, I look pretty flashy out there.
So glad it met with your approval. They're surrounding us!
You're mine! It's over!
Dragon
Crush!
Shell!
Radiant, here! Tempest,
You're
Eagle
mine!
assault!
It's over!
Radiant, here!
You're mine!
I never miss!
Shattering of
Lightning!
Pieces!
Again to the wind!
Rising Falcon!
Arch shield! Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off! You're mine! Rising Falcon! I'm up!
Lunar flow! This way! Lunar flow!
A victory for the ages.
What's this thing?
We should think about eating soon.
Really? Not all that hungry myself.
Don't make me say it again.
Yeah, good idea.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
You guys want to rest here?
something.
Why didn't the Renin...
Go no further!
Here I come!
Take this!
First strike!
Lunar
Here I come!
Attack now!
In an instant! Impact drop! My turn! No escape! Two back!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Glacial Spear!
I'm not done! Dragon form! Take this! Crush! Okay, chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Wow! Look what I just found.
Little help!
Here I come!
This one's mine! I never miss!
Whirlwind snap! You picked the wrong fight!
Just getting started!
Eternal devastation!
Now!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
My turn! Strike! Lunarongo!
Purge Malevolent!
Double demon blast!
Waterfall! Do it! Now!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Looks like we won.
Out of our way!
I'm not done! First strike!
Freaking does it!
Whoa!
Severing Wing! Stardust!
Careful! It has some kind of camouflage! Is it in
Why'd
the
you do
sky?
To stop you dying?
Ah, right.
Severing Wind! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning Orb!
Struck! Not today!
Hey, one
Now
at a
you
time!
see what I can do!
Wind! Big Blast! Searing Gale!
Breaking Annihilation!
You're
It looks
mine!
like you got this one covered! I'll heal you all! Healing Circle!
Okay, here I go! I'm not done!
I lost myself in the heat of the moment.
Here we go again! It's over!
I'm out of ammo!
Severing Wind! Rising Blast!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dust to dust! I'm on a roll now!
Take this!
Get
You're
off the
finished!
whip!
Eternal devastation! Wind!
Radiant Flight!
Here! Hurricane Thrust!
Photon Blast!
Here I come!
All right!
You're finished!
Lightning Orb!
Double flashback!
You require a hand.
I'm out! Back into the fray! Waterfall!
Charge like that can easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
All mine!
Burn it!
Lightning Orb!
Eagle Dawn! Now you see what I can do!
Here I come!
Lightning Blast!
I feel kind of funny. Right. I should probably do something about that.
Do they not teach you to say thank you in Dana? Not feel Renin, they don't.
Here I come!
Focus, Ringwell. I rely on your...
Don't be a martyr. You tell your friend the enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that.
It's over!
I can do it all.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shout!
I'll heal you all.
Eagle assault!
Arcane
Power! Now I can let loose. This is looking good.
Wind Astral Energy.
Powered hurricane!
Ignite!
Raging Bolt. Healing
Do it! Totally! In an instant! Impact Rock!
The astral energy is surging around me.
How do you even know about all that astrally stuff?
Same way I know what you do in the middle of the night.
What? Are you serious?
Hi, Hoodle!
No escape!
I never miss!
Take this!
Anything normal. Will this help?
Rising target!
Healing crystal!
SC Airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
You're mine! Crush! Double demon fang!
Lightning, here goes! Glacial spear. Here's evil.
Take this!
Freeze lancer.
Double demon fang!
Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade!
See that?
That training's paying off! Ronaldo! Tear! Soaring light spear! Take this!
Now you see what I can do!
It's over!
We're thinning them out.
Please, more like me.
I'll admit I'm impressed. Very close.
It's over! Crush!
Gravitas field.
Here I come!
No
Am I imagining things, or are there a lot of big Zoogles in this area?
No, I noticed that too. There's plenty of food and water to go around here. For a Zoogle, this just might be paradise.
Great! That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Is...
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
What's up, Kisara? You look concerned.
Oh, no, it's just... I'm looking at our finances and they seem to have taken a nosedive. I don't remember us making any big purchases, though.
Ah, that may be because I borrowed a small amount to purchase something the other day.
I don't think you can call spending more than half of our money a small amount.
Half? Dohalim, what the hell did you buy?
As it so happens, I came upon a rather special object that I've long been searching for.
Are you talking about that junk? I mean, that unique-looking trinket you're holding?
Whoa, is that a...
Indeed. It is a lost artifact from ancient Danan times. Most likely, it was used for some sort of rite or ritual. Ever since we Renans conquered Dana, such objects have been disappearing. I simply want to do my part to help preserve both our people's storied histories.
Well, if it's to preserve Danan history, then I guess we can maybe look the other way. Just this once?
I don't know. Why spend money on something that won't even keep us fed?
More to the point, we all contribute to that money. I don't like the thought of anyone dipping into it without saying anything.
You must understand. Had I let that opportunity pass me by, I'd never have come across this item again.
Dohalim, maybe no one taught you that money doesn't grow on trees.
I may have been a lord, but I realize that much.
It's not enough to simply realize it. You have to internalize the concept too. Even after all this time, you still have no real sense of money. Our funds aren't your personal wallet. We camp outside and eat grass for dinner to try and stretch every last gold we have. You never know when we may need it.
I don't think we're so poor that we have to eat grass or anything.
Shut up, Alphen.
Shutting.
Let's just agree to not spend too much or be too thrifty for our own good.
Alphen, your blazing sword draws its power from Shion's Fire Master core, right?
So I'm told.
Then why don't you use yours, Dohalim?
You mean my Earth Master Core, yes?
Yeah, I mean, you still carry it around with you, don't you?
I do. Each Master Core contains the astral energy harvested from Danan's slaves over the course of the last 3 centuries. Though only a select few qualified people, namely the Lords, can wield them, they nevertheless hold too much power to simply abandon.
If only the Lords are supposed to be able to use them, how come Alphen and Shion can use theirs?
That may be because Shion has embedded the Fire Master Core within her body, something which wouldn't have occurred under normal circumstances.
Okay, but why do you still carry yours around?
Just as Danans see Master Cores as symbols of the lives and resources robbed from them, so too do I view mine as a symbol of our lasting sins. The pain and agony wrought upon this world by my predecessors, as well as the injustice enabled by my own inaction, are all housed within my Master Core. It is a testament of all that I have done wrong. It cannot ever be used again, nor fall back into the wrong hands.
Dohalim.
You didn't differentiate between the deaths of Danans and the deaths of Renans.
Danans and Renans both spill blood and languish in agony all the same. I just couldn't bear to hear it any longer. That's all.
Little late for that.
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? I noticed you haven't been training Huda lately. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's been catching fish with Kisara, and he seems to be adjusting his diet on his own, so I'm not as worried as before.
Maybe that's his way of pitching in, so you don't have to do everything for him.
Yeah, maybe. I guess at some point he started taking a shine to everyone too, just like they did to him.
You sound like you're okay with that.
Yeah, more than okay, really. It feels natural having Hoodle and everyone around.
I know what you mean. We all support and take care of each other in our own ways. It's starting to feel like we're almost a family.
Huh, I hadn't thought of it like that. So does that make you everybody's dad?
Do I really look that old to you?
Huh? You don't like that? Okay, how about you be the big brother? Shion is the big sister, and Kisara can be our mom.
Well, then how about Dohalim for the dad?
I don't really get that kind of vibe from Dohalim. He's more like an uncle. An old uncle, who's too preachy and snarky for his own good sometimes. And as for Law... Well, Hoodle took the little brother role, and Law's definitely not the dad. This is hard. Oh! Law can be the pet dog!
A dog? Do dogs really count as part of a family?
Of course they do. If an owl can be part of our family, so can a dog. When you think about it like that, we have a pretty fun family.
Yeah, a pretty big one as well.
That's why I like it so much. I wish we didn't have to do anything dangerous. I just want to keep traveling the world with you guys the way we are right now.
You okay?
Oh, it's nothing. Actually, I think I'm gonna go practice with Hootle for a bit. Hootle, let me know if you sense anything.
A comfortable win.
What's this thing? An opponent like this should be easy.
Here I come! Burn!
It can hide itself? From me?
Searing gale! Watch this! You're mine! Rip and tear! Eternal devastation!
Arctic waterfall!
Crush!
Freeze lancer!
First strike!
Cover the caster! One more!
Severing wind! Showtime! Rising falcon! Smash you! Take this! Try harder! My turn! Severing wind! First strike! Here I come!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
You're mine!
Eat this!
Not my fight! You pay for that! Severing wind!
Handy.
Crush! This time! Soda! Take this! Burn in hell! Dragon Form! Severing wind! Searing gale! Eagle assault!
Lightning condemned! Into the shadow! Radiant
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks,
I'll
Kisara!
bring you back from Death's Abyss. I'm
Resuscitation!
Oh, you are gonna pay for that! First strike!
I owe you one.
Healing strike!
Eternal
I'll bring you
devastation!
back from Death's Abyss. I'll bring you back from Death's Abyss.
Dragon shot!
Resuscitation!
Eagle assault! Watch this! You're mine! You're finished!
Leave the enemy's arc to me!
No complaints here! You're finished! First strike! That freaking does it!
Here, let me help.
Searing gale! Ready and ready!
Lightning
Eternal
orb!
devastation! Now you see what I can do!
Up and in! Let's go!
Crush! I'm on it! Take this!
Here goes!
Dragon Form!
Here's evil! Freeze laser!
Crush!
Far enough!
Hey, don't get in my way!
Here I come! This one's all mine! Ignite! Rip and tear! Severing wind! Searing gale!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! I'll heal you all! Supernova! Raging Cascade! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
There are still so many creatures we don't know.
I'll see you again tomorrow. Well, off we go. food there. It looks pretty tasty.
Yep, we can fix that new recipe with it.
I eagerly await the final result.
Is the blazing sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it. That enemy looks strong. I bet it'll be... I have a bad feeling about this.
Radiant blood! Not in your dreams! Here!
Eternal devastation! It's over! Severing wind! Blue Rongo! It got flyers!
I've got this! I can handle it!
It's over! All yours! Take this! It's over!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Here I come!
Shut him down.
Not a chance!
In here!
Oh, damn! Hurricane thrust! Megasonic thrust! Severing wind! This one's all mine! You're finished! You're mine! It's over! Severing wind! River!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
I'm even stronger than before. It'll be a breeze.
Take this!
Get in, get out.
Can't get out of this!
Gemini on!
You picked the wrong fight!
Here goes!
Searing gale!
Now!
Kisara!
Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
Dance in the wind!
Cut!
Sleep now!
Here I come!
I'll be saving
Wind!
you!
I'll finish you here and now! Rising Falcon!
Raging storm!
Take this!
Glacial fire! Here's evil!
I'll
tear you apart!
Here I come!
Tempest wall!
Wind! Soaring light spear!
Come to an end.
Photon blast!
Rising Falcon!
Steering flip! Do it!
Take them off!
Look sharp.
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Looks like we won.
No choice!
Glacial spear! Here's Photon blast! Dance in the wind! Lancer! Feel! This'll come in handy!
Take this!
You're mine!
Steering
It's
flip!
over!
Armor won't save you!
Eternal devastation!
Dragon shell!
Knock it! Take this! Burn in hell!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
And the bubbling to
It's over! Crush!
swallow down!
pretty lucky.
Mahag Sar, a land where the winds scar and the clouds stretch far.
Kisara? What is he doing?
Reciting a poem, apparently. Just let him be.
No choice. Here I come.
I never miss!
It's over. Eat this.
Radiant Light!
Win.
Here goes! Reload!
Dragon Form.
Into the shadows! Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more. Got it.
Well done!
You're mine.
I'm out! Back into the fray!
No, I won't give in.
It's over. Dragon Form. Win. Take this. You're finished.
Tectonic power of water!
Not a chance.
Mega Ray! Thunder Blade!
Not today. You're mine. Severing Wind. Searing Gale. I owe you one.
Lightning Condemned! Reload! Here, let me help. First aid!
Did you just
Should
kill
have
me?
messed
Yes,
with me.
I need you, remember?
Right.
Into the shadows! Lightning Orb!
Now you see what I can do.
I'll heal you all! Dragon Shell! Healing Storm!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! I'll
this
work you
help?
through!
Here I come.
Lightning Condemned!
Eagle
Healing
Fly!
Thunder Blade!
Storm!
Win.
Lunar
Searing
Corruption!
Gale. I owe you one.
Talon Hurricane! Power of water!
Thunder Field!
Here I come.
Arch Malevolence! Mega Ray! Waterfall!
This one keeps charging us.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it. I'll leave it to you.
That's what I get for shooting too high. I really owe you one.
Eat this. It's over. Here I come. Burn in hell. Searing Gale.
Pierce Evo! Freeze Lancer!
Here I go.
These fists have got your name on them.
Healing Circle!
That is a
I'll
spot.
bring you back from death's abyss!
Ready to go!
There you go. I feel like all good things come to an end.
Not done yet.
Light into the shadows!
Far enough.
Mega Ray! Astral Energy! Annihilation!
Eternal
Here's a healing arc! First aid! Archaic Waterfall! Freeze Lancer! Dance to the wind! Impact!
It's time. What a relief.
No escape.
Healing away! Go! Mega
Eternal
Ray!
devastation.
Chinese Supernova! Don't mind if I do!
Rising Falcon.
Light Astral Energy! Here, hurry!
Win.
Everyone's still in one piece? I sense a strange power from this. Whew, what a rush! Who?
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Out of our way!
Lightning condemned! Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray!
Wind! Into assault! Lunar Rumble!
Raging
Nothing gets by me!
Wind! Into assault!
Do it!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Way to go!
Soaring Light Spear! It's over! Swallow Dance! Here I come!
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
You sure showed them. Little help!
Here I come! Ignite! I'm on it! Take this!
Annihilation!
Dragon Shell! I'll take you all carve through armor! Crush! Do it! Look sharp! Lightning Thunder Blade! See that? That training's paying off!
Spear! Pierce evil!
Rising Tower! Hurricane! I'm not done!
Breaking does it!
Eternal Devastation!
I'll heal you all!
I'm on it! You're mine! You're finished!
Hail Sword!
You're mine! You're finished!
Now see that you don't get in trouble again.
You're mine!
Back into the fray!
Eternal Devastation!
Annihilation! Wind astral
Dragon
energy!
Swarm!
We managed to pull through.
Spear! Pure evil! Raging Cat Freeze Lancer!
This one's all mine!
Cover the capture! Get to the wind! Radiant Here! Now! Astral Energy!
Say no more! Shot!
Well done!
Here I come! Crush! Dragon Form! Ignore!
Sonic Hurricane!
Here I come!
Now!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life! Did you see?
Sure did. The part where you swung and missed, right?
Not that part!
Right, here goes!
Where are you going?
Escape!
Big waterfall! Quick now! Gemini Aqua! Let's get you up!
You're mine!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that? That training's paying off!
I'm free! What can they just
Xion, can you take... Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
How much longer will our healing arts last?
Pow!
You're mine!
Great Spear! Here's the evil! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
They got me flanked!
Blah, blah, blah! This one's mine! Freeze
You're
Lancer!
mine! Dragon Form! Eat dirt! You got fire!
I've got this! Let us march this!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
All yours!
And the cover is to me!
Lunar Rondo!
Searing Flame! Photon Blast!
Severing Wind! You're mine! We've turned the tables on.
It must take their still more left. I'm not brave. I just do what I have to. Astral Energy!
Say no more. Shot!
Well done.
Take it! Dragon Form!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best. Go no further!
You're mine!
In a bind? I'm on it!
Radiant
Dragon Form!
This'll come in handy. Lunar Corruption!
Eternal Devastation! This one's all mine!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that.
Take this!
Yes, my lady?
Easy peasy. Ha hoodle.
Get lost.
You're mine! Burn in hell!
Now you see what I can do!
It's in the
Don't
sky,
mind if I
it's
do.
mine.
Here I come!
Glacial Spear.
Here's evil!
Do it!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Not a chance! Eat this!
You airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for you truly!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Raging Storm! Alright! Got it!
You're mine!
Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Could have been worse.
I hate camping out. I feel all...
Hey, Rinwell. What was that whole legend you were talking about earlier, back when we were by the gate?
Huh? Oh, you mean about the Darkwings? It's an old story about a Danon hero that's been passed down for generations.
Like I said, I sure haven't heard it before.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, long ago, there was an evil king who tried to bring all of Dana to ruin. However, a pure black owl heard the pleas of the people and decided to help. It chose a young hero and bestowed upon them a holy flame that was capable of vanquishing the king. The story goes that the young hero challenged the king and defeated them with the flame. Seeing Dana had been saved, the people flew the crest of the Darkwings as thanks to the owl for its help. From what I understand, it used to be a really well-known story before the Renans came.
I guess our people must have forgotten it over time. It's lucky for us you still know it. You sure are well-versed in these sorts of things, Rinwell.
You know, the part where the hero defeats the king with a flame reminds me a little of Alphen.
Come on, it's just a story. Besides, if we're talking about an owl helping anyone, Hootle would definitely choose Rinwell.
Sure, I might have helped take out our own kind of evil king with the others, but I'm definitely no hero. That and Hootle's wings aren't even black. Huh.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
You should get some shut-eye. All right, guys. Ready to go?
This place gives me the creeps. You really think that lord is hiding out here?
Be careful. The air is dense with astral energy. Something's not quite right about this place.
How are you able to pick up on all this stuff anyway? Is it something that all astral arts wielders can do?
I must admit, I'm curious myself. Perhaps her Danon bloodline has something to do with it.
Dohalim.
Apologies. I meant no disrespect.
Stay alert, everyone. There's a good chance that she already knows we're here.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard. I suppose if you're a lord going into hiding, a forest is one place to turn.
We don't know for sure she's here. Keep looking. Let's dispose of the trash.
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Hide as big as armor.
I'm not done! Wind!
It's almost too strong.
It'll split it open!
Be my guest.
Damn it! Take this!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
No escape!
Anything in order is all mine!
Flame of fury!
It's over!
Glacial spear.
You're mine!
Air blade
Eternal Dark Beacon! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off! Lunar Rondo!
Eagle Assault!
Swallow Dance! You're finished! Eternal Darkseid! River!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Take it!
My turn!
Go!
No escape!
I'm on it! Raging Storm!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
An opponent like this should be easy. Dragon Swarm! Eat dirt! I'm on it! Take this! Eternal Devastation!
Airborne scoundrel.
Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
You're finished! Win!
Now!
Blow them away!
Glazing Spear! Here's evil!
Lunar Rondo! Soaring Light Spittle!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Guess I misread the landing.
For the hideout of a runaway lord, this place is a lot bigger than I was expecting.
Do you think she had it built with that in mind?
No. Personally, I think this used to be part of a Danon castle or fortress of some sort.
How can you tell?
For one thing, it doesn't look like a storehouse. For another, it's old, and you can tell it was built to let people hole up inside of it.
Huh. I'll take your word for it. I don't know the first thing about brick. You know, I've always thought you were a smart little cookie. But damn, Rinwell, you really know your stuff.
It's no big deal. I've just read a lot of books is all.
If this is meant to be a castle, there wasn't much to it above ground. Are there such things as underground castles?
There probably used to be more of it above ground. That is, until 300 years ago.
So the main structure must have been lost during the time of the invasion, with only the underground part remaining. And then this lord decided to use it for her own purposes. Have I got that right?
But what reason could she have for using this place instead of staying back in her own castle?
That's what we're here to find out. Whatever it is, she's up to no good.
Right. It's all the more reason we need to hurry up and find her before it's too late.
Get lost! Here I come! Armor won't save you! Finish! First strike!
Radiant look!
Transform! Hurricane! Crush!
Sleep now.
You're mine!
Let's
Hit
go!
on!
Lightning to
Take
death!
it!
Not on my
Flying
watch!
free! River!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu. This place goes pretty deep underground.
It was probably built that way so it could still be used, even if the above-ground portion got destroyed.
Perhaps that's why it's still here, and why it was made into her hideout. It would certainly stand to reason. It would appear we can descend down where the railing has fallen apart.